This is the Gus Goozman Show.
Just the facts. Get the facts right now. Hard hitting. Skittish. Captivating. Controversial. Gus Goozman. Intense. That's all I ask. Hero to hero with Gus Goozman.
Today on the Gus Goozman Show, the king with the sling, the man with the plan, the giant slayer, King David, live on our stage. You just walked into the Gus Goozman Show. Here we go. All right, David. Woo! Ultimate fighter, champion David. How you doing, bro? How you doing? Hey, afterwards, maybe we can go to the gym and show you a few moves. Hey, look out. Look at what do you got here. What do you got here? What do you got here? What about here? What about here? What about here? Oh. Okay, I want to get to the good stuff. Everybody knows that you are a fighter, that you are an ultimate fighting legend. How did you train? How did you get your big start? Was it with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu? Was it with the Chuck Man, Ice Liddell?
Actually, was just out in the fields with the sheep.
Oh, you mean Field Sheep's House of Kung Fu. That's right, Field Sheep's House of Kung Fu, now with 8 valet locations. Field Sheep's House of Kung Fu, we're fighting for you. King Saul, he searched all across the country to find you, didn't he? You were selected as a military champion. Tell me about that.
Actually, I wasn't selected at all.
Well then, how'd you get yourself mixed up with the Giants?
Well, my mom, she was very worried about my brothers, worried that the army wasn't going to feed them enough. So she sent me with a huge sack of food and told me to carry it to my brothers in the army.
That sounds fascinating.
I was headed off to the battlefield to bring my brothers some food.
You're on the battlefield. You're there in the midst of the conflict. What did you see? What did you experience? What concerned you?
I was walking in, my big sack of food, and looking out over the battlefield, I noticed, on one side was Israel, the other side was the Philistines. I saw this guy, he was a big guy, everybody said his name was Goliath, and instead of taunting the Israelite army, he would sit there and just call my God names.
He would just call names, huh? He'd be like, I don't like your God.
Yeah, and I was offended, and I knew my God was offended.
Now this Goliath fellow, he's large. He's big. Goliath of Gath, he was a big, heavy guy. He had a huge, massive sword and shield and spear, and he was a fierce guy. What in the world made you think that you could battle him?
Actually, I was just surprised that no one else would go out in God's power and take Goliath on themselves. So I went and I volunteered to fight Goliath because I knew that God would be on my side.
You must have been so brave. I heard he eats warthogs for breakfast. Hey, speaking of warthogs, kids, run on down to the store right now and pick yourself up a bag of Wilbur's crunchy pork rinds. That's right, they're made with 100% pig, so you know they're good. It's not a meal till you crunch the squeal. Yeah. So you went and volunteered to fight Goliath, and talk me through the armor that you put on, the weapons you had with you, the sword and the shield and the spear and the nunchucks.
I really just opted for my everyday clothing, and I took my slingshot and grabbed 5 stones.
A slingshot. Hold on, let's stop there.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. So you're talking about like some type of ginormous slingshot that you pulled back a long spear with pointy end and shot it forward for mass destruction, right? It was something large.
It was actually almost like a piece of leather, and I could kind of swing it above my head and let loose and just throw pretty good small sized rocks about the size of my palm here.
That wouldn't work. Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. I've done a lot of research in the field with giants and small rocks. I don't think that would work. What you want to use is a big rock. And you know where you can get a big rock like this? You can get a big rock like this down at Big Al's Rock Emporium. Hey, you need rocks, we've got them. We're solid, and we're on the corner of 67th and Happy Valley Road. Big Al's Rock House, we're going to rock you out. You should have used something like this. Oh, that was my foot. Oh, that was my foot. Oh, that was my foot. Oh, my foot. Oh, my foot. That was my foot. That was my foot. Ow, that was my foot. All right. So, David, you won. You won the battle. And you're saying you didn't do it on your own strength?
Not on my own strength at all. I know that if I didn't have God with me, there's no way I could have beat Goliath.
Huh. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Well, folks, you heard it here first on the Gus Goozman Show. King, the giant slayer David, he says it was all God. It wasn't even him that did it. Well, either way, he had to be courageous to do what he did. Hey, I'm Gus Goozman. You stay sunny, Arizona. We'll see you next time.